the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops. And it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Hello everybody, let me ask you, when you learn something, don't you get excited to share what you've learned with others? I know I certainly do. With that said, let me tell you this. If you snell your hook when you're fishing a Texas rig lure, you'll improve your strike-catch ratio. Why? Ideally, you want to hook a bass where the hook will hold the best, and that's in the top of the mouth. Whenever you're fishing heavy cover, flipping, pitching, using a snell knot, it'll help you on the hook set. When you set the hook, the snell knot straightens the hook vertically and the point of the hook tends to pop or pivot up. Now the odds are in your favor big time. There's a fish right there. He moved. See where, I'm gonna just sit here a minute. There he is. See him down there moving it? There he is, right there. He's right there. Now he's right here, now he's right there. There he is. Take it, take it. Under the trolling motor, doggone him. Now he's out. I saw you, boy. I'll come right back here and get you. Pretty one too. Come up here. Gotcha. Whew. Well, you never got off. Woo! I saw him in there moving. He's just barely moving those twigs. I'm gonna put him right back in there. I'm gonna let him go over here though. I see you, buddy. Whoa! Well, I like to do that. See them and just drop right in on them and tease them, trick them. Okay, let me show you a little bait that I used to use when I tournament fished. I called it my search bait simply because I could cover so much water in different depths with it so quickly. One question I was always asked about this bait was the series of holes on the top of the lure. Well, let me tell you this. They're called line tie holes, allowing the angler to manipulate the action by changing the connection point. This blade-like bait is called a sonar, which has 3 holes. The hole closest to the rear will produce the most vibration and provide the tightest wobbling action. The hole nearest the front of the bait will produce the widest wobble and the action that is usually best for vertical jigging. Now the center hole will produce a happy medium action, ideal for simple cast and retrieve presentations. It's best to use a snap rather than tie direct. These are tremendous search baits in the half-ounce size on a 6.5 medium action bait casting rod spooled on 14-pound mono.
Bill Dance Outdoors is sponsored in part by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Rebel, catch fish anywhere. And by Mercury Marine, go boldly.
Today's Conditions Log is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly.
There he is. Good. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 Buster. There we go. Big old fat thing. Had a fella text me this question a few days ago. When I fish a weedless jig, I'm missing too many fish. Could it be the weed guard is too long or too stiff? Yes. It could be the bass guard than the weed guard. Sometimes you got to prepare it. Trim the weed guard to the hook point. And trim it, when you do that, you want to trim it to about 1/8 of an inch beyond the point. Now if you're fishing sparse cover with small test line, you might want to remove a few of the bristles where it'll flex more easily when you get a strike. Normally this is not a problem when you're fishing heavier mono or braided line. He's got it right there. There he goes, coming on around. What are you gonna do, biggin? Boy, he just plowed right into it. You got it good too. Oh, it's coming right back there again. Well, there's some good fish too. Got it. Look at the size of that big baby. Now let me tell you this. When do you find a steep bank or bluff the most productive time to fish? Usually during late fall and winter, especially in a clear water environment. This is the time of the year when bass prefer vertical structure, mainly because their metabolic rate has decreased and they can move from deep to shallow and vice versa in the shortest possible distance while conserving valuable energy. Clear water is an important ingredient in how strong this pattern might be. As conditions change, weather, feed, light, and water clarity, or whatever, they can go up or down, whereas on most other types of structure, they may move horizontally. Sometimes 100 yards or more may be required to find more suitable conditions. Pretty one. See ya.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Quantum Rods and Reels. Quantum, performance tuned. Mystic Lubricants, lubrication domination. And Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Today's equipment log is brought to you by Bill Dance Exclusive Rods by Quantum. Whether you're fishing for panfish, bass, catfish, or light saltwater, we have an action for you. Available at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Today's show is sponsored in part by Berkley, catch more fish. Bill Dance Exclusive Rods by Quantum. And by Garmin. Fight your fish, not your fish finder.
We're using a little old 1/2 ounce Bass Pro tungsten football jig. We've got a 3.5 Bass Pro speed shed on the back of it. You know, this bait works so much better than a worm because it's compact. It'll fall down through that cover. If you take a worm, 6-8 inch worm, it wants to hang on that cover because it's long and it won't fall straight down through the cover. But this being compact, it just falls straight down. And a lot of that stuff is under the water that you can't see that's laying horizontal. And this bait just falls right. You pull it up over it and it falls straight back down. Where a worm would have trouble getting up over it and falling straight down. If this doesn't happen to you, count yourself lucky. Not to sound like a pessimist, but if you fish a lot, sooner or later, you or your buddy or someone close by on the lake is gonna get a hook buried in them past the barb. I've done it, I've seen it done time and time again, and most times you can remove it in a quick, easy, painless way without even leaving the lake. Here's how. Be sure the barb is not buried in a tendon or nerve. If it's a treble hook, remove it from the lure by cutting the split ring. Cut a 2-foot section of heavy line, such as braid or heavy mono. Tie the ends together and double it. Place this line in the bend or throat of the hook. Now have someone press or hold down firmly on the eye of the hook. Hold the double line parallel to your skin. Next, with your other hand, make one firm, forceful motion jerk, and the hook will pop out in the exact reverse direction on how it went in. Okay, it's time to clean the remaining small wound with peroxide. This will take some of the soreness away and kill any germs. Add a little ointment, put a Band-Aid on it, and now go fishing. Look here, move right there. No, there he is. We spit up a shad. Fat fish there. Woo, look at that. You talk about wanting something. Look at this fish's mouth. How can that fish be hungry? Look at there. That big gizzard shad right there in his mouth. And he spit up another one. It's laying out there on the water. He got my jig, he got that. And he spit up another one. There's 2 of them laying on the water. You glutton, you. So he had 2 shad in his mouth and still wanted this jig. It goes to show you how good this bait is. Okay, moving along, here's a question concerning water temperature and the best bait for the situation. In the winter, when the water temperature is below, let's say 40 degrees, what lure do you find most productive for catching big bass? The key to fooling and catching good-sized bass, especially in cold water, is proper lure selection and lure presentation. Bass must first be drawn to the bait, then something in the movement in the bait must convince the bass to eat it. No other artificial bait will produce more bass, more consistently, in cold, clear water, in my opinion, than a jig and plastic combination. This is the type of lure that represents something that bass really like. It can be fished in any depth, in, through, and around, and over most forms of cover. Whew. Boy, that thing pulled hard. There he is. Woo! Come off that reed, just getting it. Okay. I'm gonna let you go. Toodaloo. Woo!
The Bill Dance question and answer of the week is brought to you by Bill Dance Exclusive Rods by Quantum. Whether you're fishing for panfish, bass, catfish, or light saltwater, we have an action for you. Available at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Spider rigging continues to become an increasingly popular way to fish, and Millennium has anglers covered with the R100 rod holders. Made of anodized aluminum, the crossbar will easily accommodate 4 rod heads. Rod adjustments are easy, smooth, and secure with no tools needed. It's adjustable from 12 to 20 inches, and crossbars and rod holders allow for 360-degree rotation. In addition to spider rigging, these rod holders are great for long lining and pulling crankbaits.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Millennium Marine, a new class of comfort. And by Garmin Force Trolling Motors, fish with force. Closed captioning provided by PowerPole, the original shallow water anchor.
Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS Map Series chart plotter sonar combos. With advanced sonar technology like Chirp and exclusive Panoptix all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
No, that's not an antenna. It's my PowerPole micro anchor that holds boats or anchors boats up to 17 feet or 1,500 pounds, which is perfect for this rig. The all-electric micro drives the spike up to 8 feet deep and comes with 2 remote controls. And since it's made by the good folks at PowerPole, it has the same fast deployment and silent operation and unbelievable holding power.
Come be a part of Bill Dance Digital. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us.
Big one. Oh, shoot, look how fat that little fish is. I'm gonna show you a fat little fish if I can get him in. I mean a butterball. Get that hook out of you. I'm gonna show you a little pig. Look how fat that little fish is. Look at that. That's not a little fat one. You are a little toad, is what you are. A little hush puppy. Yes, you are. Okay, gotta tell you this. Have you ever noticed that lures moving horizontally are more attractive to bass than those moving vertically? Yes, absolutely, especially when fish are inactive. Now, research has shown many fish, including bass, appear to be attracted to objects moving horizontally. Now, this may be because bass tend to notice lures retrieved across their visual field more than lures drifting or falling from above. Why? Research shows that in the eyes of a bass, the visual axis along which the lenses move for focusing lies in a roughly horizontal plane. Cone cell density in the bass's retina is the highest in this plane. Because cells are primarily receptors of motion and the bass's cell patterns favor the horizontal axis over the vertical. Bass are probably more sensitive to motion in this plane. You know, it's a proven fact. We remember what we sense most strongly. Think also about this. The eye orientation and memory length may help explain why bass seem to learn to identify some lures and avoid others. During the dog days of summer, take note of the wind. It can add wind-swept shallows and hold more fish because oxygen levels are higher. There he is. Oh, look, it's so good in there, though. Woo. That big old hitty thing right there. I'll drag a little bit, don't you? Where are you going, Buster? Look at that big fat Jesse. That a pretty. I hear you. Woo! How fat that is. Woo! What a fun day. We've caught a lot of fish. Had a great time. Caught a lot of fish on a great little bait. Bass Pro Shops half-ounce tungsten football jig and their speed shed. Go by Cabela's or Bass Pro and check them out. Next time you want to go flipping, pitching, and shallow cover, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the results this little job will produce for you. But like I said, it's been a fun day. Hope you learned a few things from some of the things we passed your way. But until next week, you catch a lot of fish, keep what you can use, and release the rest. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching Bill Dance Outdoors. Join us here again next week.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.